Hello, friends. Welcome back. Please join me today for a forward fold sequence. This practice targets the back, hips, back of the legs, and upper body. It is a bit challenging and a little over 30 minutes, so if that sounds fine, please continue with me. Let's begin in Sukhasana, or a nice seated position. Breathe in gently through your nostrils using your abdominal muscles, and release through the same passageway. Roll out your shoulders slowly and gently. You can start forward or backwards. Draw imaginary circles with your shoulders. Bring them close to your ears and away. Slowly drop your head down to get a nice gentle stretch in the upper back and neck. And slowly raise your gaze up towards the ceiling, stretching the muscles of your throat. This time, as you bring your chin to your chest, round your back, and when you lift up, send your chest forward. So this is cat and cow in the forms of Sukhasana, which is our lovely seated easy pose. You can do a slight twist if you like here. You might feel some pops. Uncross your legs if you had them crossed. Straighten them out in front of you, hip distance apart, and begin to flex and extend your toes to warm up those ankle joints. Begin to do the same with your wrists. We want to warm up those joints so we can prevent any injury, as we will most likely be using our wrists and ankles today. And it's good to do this every day since we walk and use our hands daily. You can play around and challenge your nervous system by making circles clockwise with your wrists and counterclockwise with your feet. Personally, I think it's very cool and bizarre of what our bodies can do. Being gentle with yourself, not overextending your wrists, stretching them in all possible directions. All right, when you're ready, come upright onto your mat, whichever way it is easier for you to get there, for Tadasana or mountain pose. Stand tall with your feet hip distance apart and parallel to one another, engaging all of your limbs. Palms face forward. Stay here for a few breaths. Set any intention for today's practice. Stand tall, firm, and strong within your foundation, just like the trees that are near. Removing any tension that you may have within your shoulders, your face, maybe it's your eyebrows or your jaw. Bring your awareness to all 4 points of your feet, finding balance. Once you found that point, it is okay to take a sway within your hips, side to side, back and forth, whichever feels good for you. And back to stillness. From here, raise the arms from your sides, up above your crown, looking between your fingers, and exhale, bend your knees for Utkatasana, chair pose. Bring your fingers to the mat, straighten your legs, halfway lift. Hands come back to the mat. Bend at your knees, round your back slowly as you come back up to neutral. We're gonna do this 2 more times. Another big stretch with the arms, raise up high, big inhale, exhale, lower down into chair. Allow your hands to meet your mat. Straighten your legs, halfway lift. Lower back down. Bend at your knees. Lift up, round your spine. Yes. And last one again. Big stretch. Arms above. And lower into chair pose. Engage your thighs. Hold here. Finding balance within your feet. Lower your hands. Straighten your legs. Hold here, breathing into the stretch. And bend your knees slightly here. Hang for a bit. You can grab your elbows. Just allow your neck to hang. You can keep your legs straight or bent here. Plant your hands, lower down into a deep squat. Try to keep your legs aligned as you squat down. If you aren't able to do so, that is fine. You don't have to go as low. Last two. Try to extend those legs. And last squat. All right, walk your fingers a few inches in front of you and stay here. Breathe deeply here to allow yourself to get deeper into the stretch. Wiggle out your toes, point or flex your feet. We're getting a nice stretch in the front of our ankles and our shins. Remember to always listen to your body. If you need to release any type of pressure or tension within your legs, you can always bend your knee. Walk your hands to the front of your mat for downward facing dog. Pedal out one leg at a time a few times. Feeling a stretch in those calf muscles and those hamstrings. Pushing into the floor, shoulders pull away from your ears. A few more here. Take your time on each leg. Back to stillness. Be strong with those shoulders. Breathe here. Nice and controlled. Stay with me. A few more seconds and release. Come into a tabletop position. You know I gotta incorporate my favorites, which are cat and cows. They are so helpful for the spine. Take a moment here to adjust yourself. Make sure your hands and knees are hip distance apart and parallel to one another. Make sure your back is straight. Round your spine, bring your chin to your chest and gaze up, sending your chest towards the floor and back down again. Make sure you're inhaling and exhaling. Inhale as you gaze up and exhale, pushing your breath out through your mouth as you round your spine. Just a few more here. On this inhale, I want you to stay here to give yourself time within the pose. Just allow yourself to feel your body. Really emphasize the movement, trying different angles to discover new feelings within your body, to get a deeper stretch within your back, your chest, your abdomen, your neck, and your hips. You can take some time out here to really get deep into these movements and really warm up your spine, feeling your body, and just feeling good about yourself here. Come back to a neutral spine and tuck your toes to lift back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Walk towards your hands. Lift halfway. Round your spine to lift all the way up, standing tall, and raise the arms above and back as far as you can for a nice stretch of your thoracic cavity. We'll do those for 3. Take a nice big inhale, engaging your lower body and lean back. And exhale, send your upper body forward. And last one, really opening up your heart and shoulders. And back to neutral. Keep your arms up. We're gonna roll out those shoulders, making big circles forward and backwards with our arms. Nice and slow controlled movements here. These are very beneficial for strengthening the muscles of our upper back. Bend at your hips, bring your hands to your mat. Take a moment here. Really take your time into this forward fold. Step your right foot back as far as you can, keeping your hands planted here for a pyramid. Engage your thighs, rock back and forth if you can do so. Drop your back leg down, lean back into half splits and back to lunge. From here, dip down into a deep lunge and back up to get a nice stretch in those hip flexors. We're gonna do 10 of these on each side, although I did miscount, so I did 8 on my left leg. So please don't be like me and make sure you maintain your balance within your body. This does require a bit of balance and you will have some pressure on your knee. So if you need a blanket, just place it up under your knee. Also, I know in the exercise world that the knee isn't supposed to extend past the toes, but that's not the case here. Last one here, pivot to the front for a side lunge and lean back coming on your sitting bones. Pull your legs towards you using your arms and your hands to further open up those hips. And shift on over to the other side using your hands for support. Make sure you are breathing deeply here. Lift back on up, pivot to your right side to work on that right leg, back into pyramid pose. Rock back and forth to stretch out your groin and hamstrings. Drop your back knee down to come into a lunge. Dip down for a deep lunge as low as you can go. Again for 10, but not 8. Last 2 here. Last stretch here for this side lunge. And we'll work on shifting to both sides just a couple times. Lift on up and toe heel into a forward fold. Adjust yourself on your mat if you need to or if you like. Breathe deeply here as you make room, connecting your abdomen to your thighs if you can do so. Take a couple squats here, and when you're ready, step into down dog. Sometimes I play around with my foot placement when it comes to downward facing dog, as you can see. Maybe I stand closer to my hands or further away. This also helps to strengthen the hamstrings and the muscles of the upper back and the shoulders. You have the option here to lift and lower your heels. Lift your left leg up, not so high, just enough for you to engage your glutes. And bend, sending it forward to your chest with control. Step in between your hands, back into a nice low lunge. Stay here. Breathe. Feel your hip flexors lengthening. Nice. Lift the back toe, lift that knee up off the mat. Pivot your back foot forward and extend your arms, warrior two. Guide your upper body down, allow your left hand to rest beside your right foot. Turn your gaze towards your opposite fingers. And switch. Get a nice back stretch here. Come back to center and drop your elbows for lizard pose. Make sure you are able to maintain a flat back. Step your back foot to meet the other. Nice fold here. Breathe. Halfway lift. Lower down, squat for two. Keep your legs slightly bent and drop your upper body weight into the ground. One foot at a time, step back into down dog. Strong shoulder, strong core. Lift to send your right leg back. Bend, bring your knee to your chest slowly, and with control, step in between your hands. Low lunge. Nice inhale, and control your exhale. The weather was so nice out. It wasn't too hot or too cold. The sun beaming on my skin. I encourage everyone to find a spot where you can recharge. Sitting within nature is very healing and calming and very nourishing for our souls, the body, and the mind. All right, tuck the back toes, lift your back leg, extend your arms, pivot your left foot forward as your body follows, warrior two. Inhale, bend your upper body, allow your right hand to meet the mat. Exhale, gaze towards your left fingers, and switch. Back to runner's lunge, drop the elbows, lizard pose. Keep your forearms planted, step your right leg back. Relax, come onto your stomach. Take a moment here. Relax your back, breathe deeply here. If you've reached this point, I'm so proud of you. Allow your breath to relax your muscles. Plant your hands alongside your chest. Lift your upper body for cobra. You can extend your arms slightly. You can stay up or do small push-ups. And relax. Keep your forearms down or move into your four-armed cobra. Breathe to allow your body to deepen into this stretch. Allow yourself to find every bit of stretch here. You can move side to side if you like. Push up into down dog. Round the spine, lower the knees, come into child's pose. Anytime that our bodies perform some sort of extension with the spine, we got to do the opposite movement afterwards. Take a minute to relax. Relax your shoulders, your neck. This pose gives such a nice relief, especially after any back bending. Okay, time for some more fun. Come onto your forearms, and from here we're gonna do some dolphin holds. Make sure your elbows are parallel and at 90 degrees. You're gonna feel this in your shoulders. Walk up as close as you can towards your elbows. Hold here. Make sure you're not holding your breath. And release. We're gonna do this 2 more times. Don't give up on me just yet if you made it this far. Lift your tailbone up, hold, draw your navel in towards your spine, push into your shoulders, strong shoulders here, and down. Last one, straighten those legs, heels pressing towards the ground, strong and flat spine here. Gaze towards your toes or in between your arms. And release. Come back into child's pose. And relax here. Relieve any muscle tension that you may have. Take your time here. Relax. We don't want to rush into any of these poses. When you're ready, lift up, come into a tabletop position. Begin to create a wave with your spine here. Release any tension in your upper back. Use your shoulders. Stretch those abdominals. While you're doing this, what are some sensations that you are having? How does this feel for you? Really activate your tailbone and warm up the spine. Last one here. Raise one arm up at a time to the sky as your gaze follows and send it through in between the opposite arm. Another nice back stretch here. And lift up, do the same for the opposite side. Right arm comes up, eyes gaze towards your right fingers and scoop it through the opposite arm. Thread the needle. Come back to center. Take a moment to rock out your spine here. Tuck your toes, come into down dog. Walk your feet towards your hands. Lean back and forth, finding different balance points. Nice stretch here in the calves, especially flexing the feet. Stay on the balls of your feet. Find a spot to focus on. Concentrate on maintaining your balance here. The hands come to your shins or behind your legs. Breathe strong here, strengthening your toes, lengthening those hamstrings further. You can relax. Flex your feet one at a time. Slide your hands underneath. Allow your palms to meet your soles. Pull yourself deeply. Bring your forehead to your shins. Breathe deeply to relax into the stretch. You can release and pull yourself even further by grabbing your calves, or you can keep your hands under your feet. Please don't get discouraged if you can't go as deep as you like. Remember, guys, at one point I could not walk or stand up straight, which lasted for months. You have the option to do a few more squats here. Just remember, consistency and desire is key here. You have to want it. I would not be at this point in my practice if I did not put in the work behind it, which did not happen overnight. Really take your time here. Again, no rush. Lower down onto your bottom and straighten out your legs in front of you, hip distance apart, and try to keep your back straight. You can place a folded blanket under your knees if you need to. We're almost close to the end. Don't give up on me just yet. Bend one leg at a time and hug it close to your chest. You can rock back and forth or maintain stillness. Reach for your foot of your straight leg if you can. I'm pretty short, so I can touch my toes easily. You don't have to reach all the way down. And switch sides. Grab a hold of your other leg and cradle it. You have the option to rock back and forth slightly. Reach for your toes of your straight leg. Make sure you maintain a steady breath. Come back to neutral. Give your legs a nice little shake. Bend both legs, nice hug to your legs. And round and arch the spine here. I love cat and cows, guys. They're so wonderful. Even sometimes on days where the spine is stiff or hurting, spinal movements always helps. Even depending on the circumstances, movement always helps. Not doing anything at all is detrimental. Grab a hold of your feet or your ankles. Lift your legs and find your balance point within your tailbone. I'll call this a floating happy baby. Straighten one leg at a time and straighten both if you can. Marudandasana, balancing bear pose. Really try to open your hips here. Find balance. Try your best to push your legs towards you and your chest forward. I do apologize for not turning towards the camera or the back, just to allow you guys to see from a different view. From here, you can try to maintain balance with your legs together upright for boat pose. This is a challenge for me. Although today was a bit of a fail with this one, it's still okay. And not every day will be the same when it comes to your practice. Don't be discouraged if you're not at a certain point today or tomorrow. Just remember to always give yourself time because you'll get there. Come back to neutral with your legs straight in front of you and give it a nice shake again. Take a nice forward fold here. Allow and feel your body to get deeper into the stretch after each exhale that you do. Your breath is very powerful. Within this practice, you will notice if you've gotten a little further. Be aware of how your body feels. If anything feels out of whack, any sharp pains, please relax. Come into another and the final child's pose that we'll do for today. And you don't have to come into a stand here like I did. And just relax here. Take a moment to reflect on how your body feels. You may be sore afterwards, but it is honestly rewarding because eventually you will notice how far you've gotten. We are officially done here, you guys. Woo, finally. I hope this was a nice and useful video for those who are looking to deepen their practice when it comes to the different goals that you may have. Thank you if you made it this far. Until next time, peace, love, and light to you all.